Hey everyone, welcome to Cupboard Creations. My name's Gareth and this is my little corner of the internet for playing with my food. Today is like one of those really hot kind of summer's day. It's been balmy through the whole of Europe recently and I just want something nice and light and cool, easy. So we're going to make my roasted red pepper hummus. It's just lovely with that nice little kind of couple of bits of celery or some cucumber, just some snacking kind of thing. Yeah, it's getting too hot for seriously heavy food. So we're going to start this really simple and we're going to need roasted red peppers. So you're going to want sweet pointed peppers. You want about 180 grams worth, which is 2 decent sized ones or 3 small ones. And they're really good for this because yes, they don't have as much flesh as your normal bell pepper, but sometimes those bell peppers, especially here in the UK, can be quite bitter. Whereas these give you that nice little bit of sweetness that will really help. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of blacken them down. We're going to get the skin off. Easiest way to do that is 100 different ways. You can either pop them as they are on a tray in your oven, about 220 degrees C, and turn them every 5 minutes or so until they're nicely charred on the outside. And that's going to take you probably 20, 30 minutes to do. Or we can do them a couple of other ways, which are a little bit quicker, a little bit simpler. First way you're going to want to do it, I'm going to use that, yeah, I'll use that one, is chop them into little bits, so kind of, so you can flatten them out. So yeah, we just want to take those little bits of seeds out, and then you've got these two nice peppers, flatten them down, and then with your flat bits of pepper, you can just pop them onto a grill tray, keep them nice and flat, shove them under a grill, really hot, for about 5 minutes until they're nicely charred. So that's one way. If you don't have an oven, you don't have a grill, but you've got a gas hob, your other option is flick the fire on, grab your pepper and just pop it on top. And that'll give you, start bubbling quite quickly. And again, you just keep turning it until it's nicely charred all over. And then last but by no means least, if you spotted the fire safety, if you've got a blowtorch and a pan, you can just burn away. A little bit more manual this one, but it's kind of fun. And don't have to go quick. So there we go. Those are really nicely kind of blackened peppers and they look really quite black, but they're nice and soft. You don't need to worry because the skin will come off. And that's the whole reason we're doing it. And all we're going to do now is pop each of those peppers into a resealable bag whilst they're hot. And what that will do is it will allow them to sweat down. And that will, again, just really help that skin to kind of get nice and easy to peel. So we can pop that, close that off. And then we're just going to leave that there for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just till it's cooled down. And then we can get cracking with making the hummus. Okay, so by now, should have cooled down a bit, enough to handle. We can pop those open, yeah. And then you've got these lovely kind of char things and so easy to get the skin off now. All you need is the back of a knife and you should just be able to push it across and all that skin will come beautifully away. And don't worry if you don't get all of it. It's not absolutely vital. You don't want covered in skin, but the odd little bit still stuck to it won't be a problem. There we go. Now you've just got these lovely soft roasted peppers all ready to go. So there you go. Once your red peppers are all de-skinned, nice and easy, straight in a blender. We're going to pretty much do that with everything from now on. So it's a nice simple one to do this. So now you're just going to want 2 cloves of garlic, and you don't need to be super fine with your chopping on these. You can be quite rough because it's all going to get blended together to create that delicious hummus. So we can pop one in there. And then with your garlic in, lemon. Just going to want the juice of 1 lemon for this. What am I doing that for? Goes on top. We're just going to, same with the garlic, just get it done. Get it in the blender. So there we go, lemon in. Lovely. Now, chickpeas. It's not really hummus without chickpeas. So you want one sort of 400 gram tin of chickpeas, just drain them, pop those in there. And now for some flavours. Now, we're going to add tahini with this one. You could, if you want to be less traditional, use smooth peanut butter. You know, if you don't do this that often, you don't want tons of it hanging around, it will work. It will be slightly sweeter, slightly different flavour. I think with this one, the tahini does work quite well, but the peanut butter will as well. So you just want 3 heaped tablespoons of whichever you're using in there. Okay, so that's gone in. Now you want 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You always want an extra virgin one for this because you're not going to cook it. Get yourself a good one and then just pop those in there. Lovely. Now, as I said, with a lot of red pepper hummus, especially some you buy in supermarkets and that, they can be a little bit bitter. So to cure that, we're going to add honey. Now, if you're using the sweet peppers, then you don't need much, only a tablespoon, and that will be enough. If you're using bell peppers, maybe once it's blitzed up, give it a little taste. If you think, well, that's still a little bit sweet or not sweet enough, pop a bit more in. Do it to your taste. It's not about getting everything exactly the way it's done on random YouTube videos for recipes. But now some spices. So we're going to put in half a teaspoon of ground cumin. It works deliciously with this one. It works really well with those peppers. So pop that in, and then sea salt. So about the same, about half a teaspoon. Just going to whack it in like that. Probably 2 good pinches is about right. Now that's it. You want your top on, and then it's time to start blitzing. Now it will be quite thick at this point, so you might find it kind of sticks a bit. And what you're going to do there is water, just plain, simple, cold water, and then just keep pouring a bit in every now and again, just until it loosens up to that consistency you want. So let's get cracking. So we go, it's nearly there, very nearly there. So we're just going to add water, just tiny little bit at a time, just until when those blades are churning, the whole thing keeps moving. And that should be spot on. Perfect. So you can see the blades are all spinning, it's moving around, it's got to that right level of consistency now. Don't worry if you think you've gone too far, if you put a bit too much water in, it's a little bit too liquidy for what you'd want. When you stick it in the fridge, it's going to kind of firm up a bit. So it's perfect as is. And that's it really. That is my lovely red pepper hummus. Just time to plate it up and get it in the fridge. There we go. All down, we just smooth that out. Perfect. And that is going to be absolutely delicious. It's got that lovely sweetness, a little bit of the garlic in there, that classic kind of hummus underlining it. Really, really good stuff. Like I say, it's going to be better than the supermarket one, just because you get to flavour it the way you want. You can make it as sweet, or, you know, if you like a little bit of bitterness to it, go for it. But there you go, on a hot summer's day, nothing better. Some nice crispy veg poked in there, beautiful. So I hope you give this one a go. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.